This Three Beards Media podcast may contain mature themes, and if you're not down with that, we got 3 words for you. Like the podcast. Nailed it!
Drop it.
Welcome back to another edition of the Ball Don't Lie podcast. It is season 4, episode 3 at our new home at Three Beards Media. I'm Ted Hawley. I'm joined here as always by Justin Smool. What's up, buddy?
Nothing, man. How you been?
Good. Just chasing kids off the front doorstep, looking at my kids. Katie took them on a drive real quick, so they weren't around. So dealing with that normal madness.
There you go.
Yeah. But look, it was kind of a wishy-washy weekend for us this past weekend. About 500-ish, give or take both sides.
Yeah, actually, I had a good, decent weekend in college, but
You had a good weekend in college.
Yeah, I did have a good weekend in college. The nightcap session was really well for me, but
Recap there a little bit. You went 4-2 in college football, 2-3-1 in the NFL, and I went exactly 500. I went 2-2 in college football and 3-3 in the NFL.
Yeah.
And we went 2-3 in our circa picks, which puts us at 70% for the season. Still in good shape there. And like we said, 2 and 3 weeks, you can have some of those. You got to avoid those 1-4 and 0-5. So nothing hurt this last week.
No, we'll take it.
I got another teaser on Robin home a little bit that kept me in the green personally, so made for a nice little week.
Yeah, I still managed to be okay myself. So
a weekend in the green is always a good weekend. Call those green days, and that's how you keep mashing it forward.
Definitely.
But just to recap, I didn't get to watch a whole lot of football this last weekend, which is weird for me. I had my kid's sister got married on Saturday, so we were doing that stuff all day, and then I had a Calcutta golf tournament in Denison.
Right.
So we got T2 in. Made a couple bucks there too.
Okay.
Just made it a little better when I got home. Katie wasn't quite as mad when I brought. When you're bringing that much cash,
you brought a few extra.
She was a little upset when I just got back from the dentist, so I got all this fluoride in me, so I'm talking funny. That's why, or you see anything hanging off it. But you got, so we're gonna have to lean on you a little bit on actually. I got to watch a lot of highlights and stuff, but just to recap a little bit, I got to watch the only game I got to watch some of in the back party room where Smith and Perry and all our buddies were hanging back there watching Tristan. The Colorado State game, which I think they were to 1 a.m, something crazy like
that. Maybe a little later. I actually stayed up and watched the whole damn game. I couldn't turn away, man.
Yeah, I mean it's their must-see TV every week. And look, you hit that game right, and like I said, I'd be trailing you there a little bit too. I was on Colorado State a little bit. There's just too many points. It was a rivalry game. Yeah. But look, they were down big, and Deion rallied the troops, and they ended up getting the W. But you did get the cover with Colorado State plus 23.5.
I'll tell you what, like in that game, that you always have those like moments, and we don't know how Colorado State or Colorado is going to play out, right? They're going to be big dog. They're big dogs this week. They're going to be big dogs next week. But Shedeur showed what do you go 97 yards with like 1:40 left to take it though? Like that's what you want to see when come next level stuff. They're going to go back.
He's the real deal. Anybody that thinks he's not playing at the next level is crazy at this point.
Correct.
It's where's he going?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, that's a big boy drive right there.
He's a big boy quarterback.
Yeah. And you make stuff like that. I mean, and maybe they continue to surprise people. Like that's kind of a Heisman type of moment too.
Well, look, you got your chance coming up this week. I mean, you're 21-point dogs at Oregon, so
If
that's
they go win this game,
well, if they go win this game. If you think the hype's been crazy at this point, it's going to be nuts.
I would almost argue it's over.
Well, look, you can't ever win the Heisman in September. That's always a running joke. Is
Can't.
the person leading that's always whatever, and a lot of stuff can happen. But boy, you're in the driver's seat. You sure can lose it in September.
Well, the Pac-12 just has the best quarterbacks all the way around. Period.
Well, they do. It's not even close.
It's not even close.
You have 3 guys that might be sitting in New York City for the Heisman deal there.
In fact, it might be
Penix, with Penix, Williams, and Sanders.
Yeah. Yep.
For sure. Speaking of quarterbacks that are Sanders, how do you feel being Sanders, leaving Okie State in that mess, and then going and just riding Pine? Where's he at? Old Miss, I think.
Yeah.
He's a backup there. There's a lot of places you could have went with the kind of talent you had. You could have stayed put or make sure you go somewhere and play. That's crazy. Right. But, well, like we call the NCAAs, if you want to jump right into that.
Yeah.
This is our appetizer menu. I actually have 5 plays this week, which is a lot.
I have a million all across the board.
So,
I have a million.
Oh, I love it when you bring this much to it. So, again, we do not hide from our records. We stand by it, and we post them every week. I went 2-2 last week, puts me at 3-6 for the season in NCAA. You are currently at 6-5 in NCAA. So let's, if you got a million, why don't you kick it off for us?
All right, here we go. I'll keep it local. The team that we root for, and the team that nobody wants. I'm gonna lay it with Iowa State.
Oh, they were so disappointing for me last week. I actually did see some of the first half of that game a little bit, and then was following on the phone while we're taking pictures. It was brutal.
Brutal. If there's ever a spot now, I mean, now's the time, right? I mean,
if you don't win this game, I'm not sure you're winning a game the rest of the year. I'm surprised they're favored. Was it 3.5?
Yeah, 3.5. Yep.
I'm surprised it's over a field goal, and this will be the last time they're favored this season, I think. Especially
they'll be favored over TCU at home in a couple weeks.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see how this game goes. If they lose by double digits to Okie State, they will not be favored in that game.
Well, that could be true. Yeah. But I mean, they're going to have to play with a little fire up there, you know what, here. So I mean, if there's ever a bounce back spot, it's this one. I'm putting my faith, my trust in them to bounce back. Okie State, if you've watched them, they are really down this season. I mean, they just got blown out by South Alabama last week.
They're still playing 3 quarterbacks. Gundy's playing his kid.
Yeah. So it's just a spot. It's not that I love this. I don't love this Iowa State team. I just like the spot. I feel like they're going to respond. The media's been on Campbell. I think they're going to come out guns blazing, and hopefully they take care of business.
I'll keep it local as well. I'm on Iowa. If you're ever giving me over 2 touchdowns with that defense and that special teams, I'm going to take it. They're plus 15 at Penn State. I get it. I think it's a whiteout and stuff too. It's a big spot. We're going to find out right here. Do I think they're winning the game? No, I do not think they're going to win the game, but I think 15 points is too much with that defense. I really do. So I'm going to take the Hawks on the road at plus 15, and you will have a theme here as I have 5 road teams I'm taking this week.
Okay.
Which is never a good idea in college football, but I'm doing it anyways.
Well, here's our first disagreement. I'm going to lay it with Penn State.
I knew you would.
Yeah, I know. And for me now, you know how much I him, so it doesn't.
Everybody at this point, it's very clear how much you hate the Ferentz crew. You don't have to explain it anymore. It's well documented.
It's true. So I think here, this game, my big concern with Iowa is the fact that now, like when you think back, like they were favored by 3.5 at Iowa State, and now that game obviously looks bad because of what Iowa State's shown.
Sure.
And I do have big question marks still with the Iowa offensive line against the Penn State defensive front. So we'll see. It's a major step up in class from what Iowa's faced. But you are right in the sense, like, this is the game. Ferentz mucks it up, and it's like a
slow it down, try to limit possessions, and we'll see.
Right. But my fear is that, or my thought process here is that if Penn State gets out early, this Iowa team's not playing from behind.
Well, they're not meant to play from behind, but if they somehow get, through the first quarter, 7-3, halftime 14-17, 14-6. Yeah.
I think you'll know halfway through the second quarter where it's going to go.
Sure.
Oh.
All right, what else you got for me?
All right. I'm going to take Arkansas plus 18 at LSU. And I think we're just getting a lot of value. I mean, LSU's kind of slowly climbing the ranks. But Arkansas laid an egg last week to BYU and losing outright. So I like the bounce back spot. I went and looked at like defensive numbers. Arkansas is third in the country against the rush. I was shocked.
Really?
I was shocked. Giving up, I think it was 1.7 yards per play. I was like, okay. I mean,
they play Iowa State every week.
Right, I know. It's like I don't care if you're playing Division III to give up 1.7 yards. Like that's crazy. I mean, let's face it. Outside of the one Burrow year, like LSU's known to be a ground and pound type of team. So, I just felt like based upon that, and with Arkansas losing last week, maybe it was a look ahead spot to this game. So 18 just seems like a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
So
it's a lot of points, especially in a conference game like that. So that's kind of my reasoning for taking Iowa and Penn State too.
Sure.
Look, I think Florida State has a legit chance to win that conference this year.
I agree.
I don't think Clemson's very good. And I think Florida State being 2-point dogs on the road at Clemson, I think this should be a 6-point line. I don't think Clemson's very good. I think Florida State is pretty good.
Yeah.
And look, let's be honest. We talked about this a couple weeks ago too. The noise Deion's making and Florida State turning down Deion and him being very clear in his thoughts there with that fan base, he's got to start winning some of these games. There's a lot of pressure on the staff now because of the Deion echo chamber is no louder than it is in Tallahassee.
Fact.
So this is a game you got to go get.
This, we agree. This is on my card too. I mean, I just can't get. I think Clemson is still being priced here because of their name alone and because they're at home.
And look, it's wearing thin a little bit. I mean, I'll tell you what, DJ Ungalongale, is that his name?
Yeah, give or take.
Whatever, somewhere in there. He looks all right at Oregon State too.
Yeah,
so maybe this is a staff thing at this point.
Yeah, I just don't.
How good are you if you don't have Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence? I mean, that solves a lot of problems for you offensively.
For sure. I mean, if you've just watched Clemson, right? And I watched a good chunk of that Duke game. They just don't have the dogs that they used to.
And they weren't right last year either, for being honest.
No. So, no, I'm full on here. This is a huge, huge game for this Florida State program. If they want to take that next leap to where they, have hope to be, this is the game you go win, and you go win it. You go win it by double digits.
And that's I think it's going to be a double-digit win. I really do, and that's what they need to do. You go out and put your stamp on there, and you're for real now.
Yeah, and Jordan Travis is. I mean, he's a prospect right now.
Why not?
Yeah. So I'm full agreement here.
All right, what else you got for me?
Okay. We talked about one side of the game, but I'm gonna take mid Tennessee State -3. They're playing Colorado State, and I just think that it's a brutal spot here. I mean, Colorado State's off that type of game.
I mean, you're coming with College Game Day and Fox Noon Kick was there.
You blow the lead. The lead. You go to double overtime. They've gotten more pub last week than they've gotten in forever, right? And I just question how much is left in the tank this week.
So you like Middle Tennessee State even as favorites here?
I do. Yeah, I don't think Mid Tennessee is I could be walking into it. They're not horrible. 2 weeks ago, they gave Missouri all they wanted. Missouri just went and beat K-State. Yeah, so I think you got to upgrade them a little bit. It's just a spot, situation type of play here. I'm just fading them off that big loss.
Got it. I'm going to bounce back with Colorado again. Look, we just said this is a big spot now with Oregon. Oregon has a very, very good football team. 21 points is a lot. This is a chance for Deion to get his chops here too. This is literally me betting on the hype train here too. I don't know if Deion can get blown out. That's what I'm betting on right here now is Deion not getting blown out.
Sure. I mean, I totally get it. They are probably, I'm sure from an odds maker's standpoint, they got to be the hardest team that they've ever had to price in the last.
Has to be because it's crazy.
Yeah.
Is Hunter going to be back? Is he out this week?
He's out, I think, this week and next.
Look, that does matter a lot.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. That guy's super talented.
Oh, yeah. He's a first-round pick, too. I'm taking Colorado. It's too many points, and this is the Deion train for me here.
Okay. I'm going to take SMU plus 6.5 at TCU. this game, I had SMU 2 weeks ago at Oklahoma. It felt like it was a gross loss. It was a 3-point game going into the fourth quarter. And, quite frankly, that looks pretty good. Oklahoma looks like they're playing their part right now. So TCU's defense, a lot to be questioned about there. I just think it's too many points. I think these teams are both pretty equal. So I'll take 6.5.
Okay. Look, I'm going back to the Lane train. I don't think Alabama's very good. I think this, again, is a name getting this kind of line. This line should probably be a 2.5, 3-point spread in Bama's favor, not 7 points. I'm taking Lane on the road at Bama. Look, Bama not having a quarterback, not knowing yet. This isn't a deal where they have to pick between which good quarterback they want to roll with because he likes to pick one. This is a deal where he doesn't have one.
They're bad.
I think Ole Miss is live here. I
Yep.
expect them to win this football game, to be completely honest with you. So I will take 7 points all day.
Okay. Yeah, this one probably just missed for me. In fact, I probably have it, and then these are the games I like to have in the round robin money lines.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, this one fits. I mean, if there's ever a year, and we know it, Lane's chopping at the bit, right?
He loves this game.
Yeah, he knows he probably like this one's ripe for the picking. So
Sure it is.
I 100% agree. All right, I'm going to take Cincinnati at home plus 15 against Oklahoma. I don't know. Sooners are riding high. Cincy, I faded them last week on here in a win. They actually lost as 14-point favorites to Miami of Ohio, but good bounce back spot. I don't know. Oklahoma, we'll wait and see. They haven't truly been tested yet here, so I'm just banking on them not blowing every single opponent out, and I feel like just the line's inflated. So over 2 touchdowns is just 20.
This is a wait and see game for me for both these teams here. Probably can learn something from it, so I'm going to stay away from it. But I get your thought process.
Yep.
I have one play left, and this was the back and forth one for me too. Is just I have a lot of buddies that are Notre Dame fans. I was listening to my buddy Danny Niehaus and Dan Ambrose talk about this game, and I think it opened at like 6.5. For Ohio State, and it's down to 3. I don't get it. I just don't get it. So I think Ohio State's just better. I'm taking Ohio State at Notre Dame. Again, I have 5 plays on the road, which that probably isn't going to bode well for me, but we're going to find out.
You never know.
I'm going to take Ohio State -3 at Notre Dame.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have too much of a thought into that game. That one's going to be a wait and see with me. I haven't been crazy impressed. I actually think you're probably on the right side there. If I had to,
I hope so.
Yeah.
Notre Dame not being good is a good thing for me.
Right. Washington State +3 at home versus Oregon State. I actually think the wrong team's favored. This has been a series. Washington State prior to last year had won 8 in a row. Washington State week 1 went on the road, which now looks like a really good one. They thumped Colorado State, thumped them. And I don't know, you got to upgrade them. They beat Wisconsin at home in week 2. And now they're underdogs. I don't get it. Maybe I'm missing something. I know Oregon State, you alluded to DJ at the quarterback. They've been a nice team. I'm not saying they're a bad team, but I just think the wrong team's favored given what Washington State's proven so far.
It's the battle of the Pac-12 forgottens here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That Pac-12 is loaded, by the way.
It is. It really is.
Loaded. There's so many good teams.
All right.
Great late night football.
You have any more plays here?
Oh, do I want to? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I got BYU +8.5 at Kansas. I don't get the line.
It explains it right there. Now, I just don't think Kansas is good enough to be favored by over a touchdown on anybody right now.
No.
So I completely agree with that.
I don't know if they're living off last year or what, but I mean, we just saw BYU roll into Arkansas last week, so maybe they're setting them up for a big letdown spot, but it's not like BYU's rolling into a hostile environment here in KU. So, yeah, I over a touchdown. It's 8.5. I'll take the 8.5.
Well, that's 9 plays right there. Do you you have a 10th? Or are we going to stop at 9?
Oh, I kind of have one. No, I'll keep it at 9. I have one just missed, but
all right, we got 9 plays there. So I'll recap our college plays here. I have 5 plays. Florida State -2, Colorado +21, Ole Miss +7, Ohio State -3, and Iowa +15. And for Smule, I have 9 plays with Iowa State -3.5, Penn State -15, Arkansas +18, Florida State -2, Middle Tennessee State -3, SMU +6.5, Cincinnati +15, Washington State +3, and BYU +8 in the hook. All right. Well, again, there's 9 plays. That's a Smule special there. I mean, I've seen you have 11 plays before in this too, but 9's most you've had in a while. But before we get into our main course here, as you can see behind me, I got my Revelton Distilling Company bottles in the background. We're happy to have them as a sponsor, so let's go ahead and hear a word from them.
At Revelton Distilling Company, everyone has become a part of the Revelton family. From the Taylors and their daughter who helped perfect their award-winning gins, to the team who installed Lucy, our 33-foot-tall custom-made still, right down to the local farms that provide our coveted corn, and even the cows on those farms who consume our mash byproduct. Want to see the farm-to-flask come to life? Now you can tour Lucy and find out where we take Iowa's harvest and transform it into our finest spirits. Choose between a 45-minute tour or find out even more by scheduling a VIP behind-the-scenes tour to get the taste of the full Revelton experience. You can visit them at 1400 West Clay Street in Osceola, Iowa, or find all of Revelton's award-winning spirits at any local grocery or spirits retailer.
Welcome back to another edition of our NFL segment, episode 3 in season 4. Again, in our new home here at Three Beards Media. Here, as always, with Smule. Look, again, we'll recap a little bit. I went 3-3 last week in the NFL. You went 2-3-1. Just missed. Again, in the season for you, 5-5-1, exactly 500. I'm 6-5 on this season, and we sit at 7-3 in our circa millions picks. We went 2-3 in those last week. Still sitting at 70% in a good spot. Yep. I got 5 plays again I like here, but a little bit all over the place.
Okay.
I'm not sure how you feel about this, but I didn't like a lot of lines. It's weird for me. Sometimes when they come out on Mondays or Tuesdays, like it's 9 of them hit me in the face. None of them hit me this week. I'm like, I might have 2 plays this week. And then just as the week went on, I have 5 plays I feel really, really good about.
Okay. Yeah. You go ahead and lead off.
Yeah. So look, there's an elimination game here. Here's 2 teams that made the playoffs last year. Right, so that means you enter with Super Bowl aspirations and, that type of stuff too. We knew Minnesota got all the breaks last year, won all those 1-score games. It's not happening anymore. But they're 0-2, and they're playing the Chargers that are 0-2. I'm not the biggest believer in the Chargers because they're always going to be the Chargers to me as a Broncos fan. With that said, the line's at +1.5 right now. I know Circa's got it at +1, but I checked all this. Like 4 sites had it at +1 on the hook. I think the Chargers going to win this football game. I think the Vikings are right there this year. They obviously don't like Madison enough as he just traded for Cam Akers. Yep. I think there's a little bit of head scratching going on there. I'm going to take the Chargers +1.5 on the road at Minnesota, and I think they're actually live here. I expect them to win the football game.
This is same one. So this will be making the contest for us. I mean, I do have a hair concern. I wish Eckler was back. I know he didn't practice yesterday. He does mean a lot to that offense, but yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Herbert.
I expect him to open it up and I expect Herbert to. I don't know what the over/under in passing yards are. I should have checked that because I'll probably be playing Herbert over yards on that too. If there's a 2 in front of his yards, he's throwing for 300 yards in this game.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, he's due for this. Just has all the feels of a big Charger.
It does.
And I just don't think Minnesota's defense is nothing elite. They're not special. So yeah, no, fully with you. I'll take the Chargers.
Cool.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Texans +9.5 at the Jags. I don't know. I'm just not sold on this Jaguars team. They've got a lot of hype. They've got a lot of love, and I don't see it. Last week, the Chiefs tried to give them the game with all these stupid turnovers they had, and the Jags just went full Jaguar and failed to even score a touchdown. So I don't see it. CJ Stroud quietly, I think he's 4th or 5th in passing yards in the NFL right now. I might be a little wrong on him. I wasn't crazy impressed, but maybe he's growing.
Well, they cannot run the ball, so they're gonna have to throw it. Like they cannot. I mean, Damian. If you have any shares, I just got rid of Damian Pierce to pistol actually in a league with Terry McLaurin. I just got rid of him. He's seeing less than 50% of the snaps.
Yeah, that's a
share,
problem.
which is crazy. But they're throwing the ball because they have to. And again, fantasy-wise, if you need a receiver depth, even Tank Dell is getting a lot of targets. That rookie, pick him up. I expect him to catch about 50 balls this year, to be completely honest. So, I get I'm going to stay away from this. I get your thought process on it. It's a lot of points, so I'll be cheering for you.
Okay.
Look, the Browns, I've been either on or against the Browns every week, and I've been right to this point so far. I'm 2-0 on betting them. We had the Steelers against them last week, but look, I don't like Tennessee. They play hard. They're going to be in every game. So if you're ever betting against them or for them, you're going to be in a sweat. It's just how it's going to be with them. I think they're 2-0 ATS right now against the spread. So it's time to not be that way. Look, they lost Chubb. That sucks. Ford guy looks okay. You bring in Kareem Hunt. He'll be fine in a backup role. He knows his system. I'm going to take the Browns -3 at home versus Tennessee. Again, I fully expect this to be a full sweat outcome, but I just kind of like the Browns by a touchdown here.
Okay. Agree. This is on my card.
Well, we might have an easier time with our circa
right
this week.
Yep. I love it. I think the notion that Chubb is out here is really going to play a factor with the people in the lines, right? They're going to be, oh man, the Browns are down. But here's what you got to recall from last week. We were fortunate with the Steelers. They scored twice on defense.
Yeah, I said they're the Iowa Hawkeyes. I put the Spider-Man gif out on Twitter because it's like, seriously, they have the same colors, they look the same, they play the same.
They do. One team has a lot better coach than the other, but that's for another day. But yeah, no, the Browns defense, it's loaded, by the way.
It is. It really is.
And Tennessee, I just think they're going to have struggle moving the ball, man.
They're just really well coached. That's what it is.
Correct.
Tennessee is very well coached because that's not a very good football team.
No, 100%.
They kind of missed. They had a little tiny window where they're good enough to win that division while I was down every year. But those dudes that they had, they're getting old.
Yeah, right.
So, awesome. Glad we're on the same page there. I'm going back to damn well again. I don't know why. I got to quit doing it. But these narrow misses and this 0-2 start with the Broncos, they're 6.5-point dogs at Miami. And I'm done betting them. I'm over with them. It's over. It's just too many points. And I think they're actually live in this game for whatever damn reason. I can't quit them. But the only thing that scares me, though, is Vance Joseph. He was our head coach. He was a terrible head coach after we won the Super Bowl. And now he's back as our defensive coordinator, which is super weird to be back that quick. I mean, Wade Phillips did that for us when we won our Super Bowl, but he was a head coach, 20 years earlier.
Right.
There's no space in there. This is a pretty quick turnaround for that. I saw Rex Ryan called him out in the media this week because Rex Ryan actually interviewed for the defensive coordinator job with the Broncos this year with Sean Payton, and he chose to go with Vance Joseph instead. So he took some pot shots at him. That kind of helps me a little bit too to kind of get dialed in here. Maybe take the running game away. Look, Miami can score. We know that. But if you can limit some possessions here, I actually think the Broncos are live for some reason. But the 6.5 points, I'm going to take it.
Okay. Well, guess what?
We agree again?
I agree here too.
No.
Yep, I'm with you, man. Like this just like this week in the NFL, I should have alluded to it when we started, but I believe there's 8 or 9 games that are 5.5 or more. Beware. So there's going to be three of these dogs for no reason.
We always talk about how Vegas builds on these teasers. They win money on teasers. So if you ever, especially those 5.5 lines by kick, if you see a 5.5 line, be very scared.
Yeah. I mean, I just think here, right? To me, I think bigger picture, this is a huge, I mean, you're a Denver guy, right? But this is a big point for Russell Wilson. Like if you go and lose and you're 0-3, like what are we doing going forward? And I think this is the all-out effort for Denver. So there's nothing but huge motivation here. Miami's off maybe the toughest travel spot. Week 1, they're at Chargers. Week 2, they're Sunday night at New England. And now they're back home. Like they've flown clear across the map.
Sure.
That's just a tough spot with a team that's just going to be ultra motivated, ultra hungry. It's the 0-2 versus 2-0 angle in terms of spread.
The only thing that scares me a little bit with this is that Miami September sun, that heat you talk about, the visiting team in September. Sure. That is my only concern or fallback on this game is, those sidelines get to be 110 plus.
Right. Right.
That is my little fallback on this, but it's enough points for me to like it here.
Yeah,
So,
I'm with you.
Going back to Denver again.
Okay. I'm going to take the Saints +2 at Green Bay. I don't look. I like Jordan Love. I don't love Love.
That's a good point, and I'm
Um,
not sure yet. I'm just undecided still. Our buddy Jordan Walker listened to this too, and we talked about doing a little recap show with this on Tuesdays. He's trying to sell me hard on him too, but I think a lot of that is just him wishful thinking, probably as a Green Bay fan.
I mean, look, you got to have you're 55% completion right now.
You gotta get that above 60. You have to.
You have to be above 60 if you're going to be the next level. And I just think it's a little overpriced. Look, I don't love Derek Carr on the road, but here's the thing: this Saints defense is real. They're good.
I saw an incredible stat, something like 20-some games under 24 points or something like that they've allowed. That's crazy in the NFL.
They're good, and I think too. So go back to week 1, and we had Green Bay in that against the Bears.
We did,
but just think about it, they were underdogs to the Bears.
Yeah.
Like and now all of a sudden you're telling me they're going to be favored over the Saints. Like it just seems like it's a big overreaction from 2 weeks.
Sure.
So I'll take the Saints +2. In a game I feel like the betting public is going to be all over Green Bay too.
I think so too.
So
I would agree with you. I'm going to go to a spot with another team, another dog that I think is live, and this is at home. Look, I think Washington's better than we thought they were.
Okay.
They were down 21-3 to Denver. I mean, don't get me wrong, Denver let that game get away.
Yep.
I saw that was PI to try to get to overtime. But look, they won the game. Sam Howell looks all right, man.
You talked about him.
Yeah, I mean, they got a pass rush, and I think that pass rush is going to be enough to – I think the Bills are a little discombobulated still right now. I really do. I actually love Washington +6.5 at home, and I think there's potential that they're live as well.
Okay. Yeah, this actually just missed for me. I like the play, though, because here's the thing I watched. So the Bills thumped my Raiders last week, but it was a little deceiving in terms of that. I mean, they were +3 in turnovers, but if you look at yards per play, the Raiders, I think there was like 6.2 yards per play. So it's not like the Bills defense wasn't giving up yardage. They were.
Sure.
The Raiders just couldn't get off the field. More or less was the story of it, plus the turnovers. But I agree here with you. Actually, I lean this way myself. So I got another big dog in the same thing, but I'm going to take it. It looks like it's going to be Minshew for the Colts.
Yeah,
so I'm going to take the 8.5 here with them against Baltimore. I think it's just a great kind of sell high spot here. Baltimore's going to get a lot of love off that division win over the Bengals, but how much does that mean? Like you played a Burrow at, I don't know, no one knows, like 60%, 50, I don't know, 50%.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I don't put much stock into that. I know they controlled the game, so you give them a little bump, but I actually think
the Colts are better than we thought they were too. I told you they were going to smack the Texans last week, and
yeah, you called it.
And Minshew's probably one of the better backup quarterbacks in the league. Like, you're going to play different when he's playing compared to Richardson, but
no, I agree. I like it. I mean,
I like this play too.
Yeah. All right.
I got one play left.
Okay.
How many you got left?
No, I got a couple.
Why don't you go ahead again?
I'm going to take Carolina +6 at Seattle. It looks like it's probably going to be the Red Rocket himself and Dalton.
It is. They ruled out
Bryce Young.
Yeah, they ruled Young out today.
Okay. And I think the narrative here, like, people just will recall the Monday night game, right? Now all of a sudden they say Carolina sucks, and you know what? And it's probably true. I think they do suck.
I think they do suck.
Yeah, but I think Seattle's a little overrated. Like last week we had Seattle.
We did.
That
was nice.
Yeah, it was extremely lucky win though. I mean, they had some crazy turnover. They had that pick six, and then to start the second half, they had a big fumble recovery. It really kind of set the tone for them.
Yeah, I didn't get to see much of that game, so that makes sense.
Yeah, they were getting
that final was a little weird then.
It was. They were getting gashed too. Like they just give up big plays. And I think for Dalton for one game, 6. I see.
Like the
look,
line's actually at 6.5 small. Circa's got it at 6.5, and I'm
oh,
looking
6.5. Okay.
at DraftKings has it at 6.5 right now.
Okay, cool. 6.5. Yeah, I mean, I do. I like it even more. I just don't think the Seattle team's not built to lay a number like that.
Cool. Look, I'll be cheering for you. I'll be staying away from that personally, though.
Right.
And go ahead again.
Let's see. I got what? I'm gonna go Monday night. I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
Really?
Yeah.
Buddy House is gonna kiss you in the mouth for that. He's starting to believe in his team. He thinks so. He's a big one that is. He doesn't hammer his teams or get too excited hard. He usually bets against them. He's a Notre Dame fan and a Bucks fan. He thinks the Bucks are winning this game outright.
Yeah, I kind of like him actually. The Eagles have. Well, first off, they haven't been like crazy impressive out of the gates here, but they have major injuries across the defense right now, and the secondary especially. Hey, you know what? I don't know what the future holds for Baker Mayfield, but I know if you give that guy confidence, he's scary.
Look, he's got playmakers here. You got two very, very, very good receivers there.
Yep. And then you throw in the mix too. Like the Bucks defense is legit.
Yeah,
they're good.
They're running the ball. And dude, like you said, watch these 5-point lines. This is a 5-point line here. The Bucks are 5-point dogs. That's a scary, stinky line. Yeah. You're probably going, why are the Eagles not favored by more than that? There's a reason this 5-point line comes out. So look, I'll be cheering you on there too. You can maybe even talk me in this one for Circa.
Okay.
But yeah, so now you have them at 2 + 5.
Yeah, I like them.
Cool. I have one play left,
okay.
And this is against. So before the season, I'm hammering all the overs on the wins, division, everything for Atlanta. Still feel good about that, but I think Detroit's a little better than they are too. And this is just a spot play for me. Okay. They're at home. Atlanta's coming off that big 1-point win push there against Green Bay. They're 2-0. It's a spot play. That's all it is here. I like Detroit -3 at home versus Atlanta.
Okay, I like this game. I do. This just like missed this. If I had to add one more, this is it.
Cool.
I fully agree. I think what I like Ritter, but I need to see more.
I'm the same way too, and I get why they're not. Like some people are asking, why are you not playing Heineke yet too? It's because they know what they have in Heineke. You don't know yet with Ritter. Right. He needs a good 6 to 8 games, and if they're got a winning record, you're gonna keep going with him because Heineke is what he is. We've seen it. There's the ceiling. He's hit his ceiling already. You don't know it's Ritter yet. And look, you're 2-0.
Yep. No, I agree here. It's a great bounce back spot for Detroit as well. As I just talked about that game last week against Seattle. So
Tristan has a running thing going of undefeated teams in 2023. Like since last year in January, it was like 4 teams to start. It was like the Chiefs, who they've already lost, the Lions, who now lost, and I forget who the other one was. So I think the Falcons are the only remaining. He's a big Falcons fan. Yeah. I think they're the only remaining team that hasn't lost in 2023, dating back into last year. So he's got this running card going. It's kind of funny. But I do think it ends here for him.
Yeah, I agree.
You got any more?
No, that's it.
All right, I got you for 8 plays here. I got me for 5. Yeah, so, 8 plays again. You got 17 plays in your card this weekend in the 2. That's the most smooth thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
Look, we have a bunch we agree on, so the Circa should be pretty easy for us this week, and it sounds like Lions might make it for us too.
Yeah.
I'll roll through the plays here real quick. I got the Chargers +1.5, the Browns -3, the Broncos +6.5, Washington +6.5, and Detroit -3. For Smule, I have the Chargers +1.5, Texans +9.5, Browns -3, the Broncos +6.5, the Saints +2, Colts +8.5, Carolina +6.5, and the Tampa Bay Bucks at +5. Again, you can probably put together most of our picks. We're playing our Circa. We will put those out on our Twitter ahead of time. We're sitting at 7-3 in the season there. That's a good start for us. We just signed up for that before the season started, coming off of 2 and 3 weeks. So again, we're looking to get back to that website with 3 W's or better again next week. So hopefully we can get some winners out there for you. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Thanks again to our sponsors, Revelton. Got the display behind me here. Thanks to our partners at Three Beards Media, especially Chris, who's running behind the scenes for us here. You got anything else to add before we get out of here, bud?
No, I don't, man. Good luck this weekend.
Yeah, good luck this weekend, everybody. As always, I'm Ted. He's Small. Cash that ticket.
At Revelton Distilling